Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jill Biden. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, accompanied by Secretary Arne Duncan, and the 2010 National Teacher of the Year, Sarah Brown Wessling.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, everybody, please have a seat. Welcome to the White House. Welcome to the Rose Garden. This is an extraordinary occasion, a beautiful day, appropriately so. So I hate to intrude on it, but before we begin, I do want to speak briefly to the American people about the recent BP oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. I've been receiving frequent briefings from members of my cabinet and White House staff, including an update last night on the additional breach and another update this morning. And while BP is ultimately responsible for funding the cost of response and cleanup operations, my administration will continue to use every single available resource at our disposal, including potentially the Department of Defense, to address the incident. Earlier today, DHS Secretary Napolitano announced that this incident is of national significance, and the Department of Interior has announced that they will be sending SWAT teams to the Gulf to inspect all platforms and rigs. And I have ordered the Secretaries of Interior and Homeland Security, as well as Administrator Lisa Jackson of the Environmental Protection Agency, to visit the site on Friday to ensure that BP and the entire U.S. government is doing everything possible, not just to respond to this incident, but also to determine its cause. And I've been in contact with all the governors of the states that may be affected by this accident. Earlier this week, Secretaries Napolitano and Salazar laid out the next steps for a thorough investigation into what precipitated this event. I'm sure there may be a few science teachers here who've been following this issue closely with their classes. And if you guys have any suggestions, please let us know. Now that's the real reason why all of you are here, because you are great teachers, engaging your students in the world around you. So I want to start by congratulating all of you for your extraordinary achievement. We could not be prouder, and I had occasion to meet each and every one individually. You could not ask for a better bunch, and it made me want to go back to school. Maybe not take the exams, but you could just tell these are people who love their work. I want to acknowledge our wonderful Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, who is your biggest booster day in, day out, as well as my good friend and a teacher herself, Dr. Jill Biden, who is here. I also want to thank Senator Harkin, Representative Boswell, and Dennis Van Rokel, President of the National Education Association, for their leadership and for joining us here today. So to all the award winners, congratulations. We are thrilled to have you in what has been a long tradition here at the White House for nearly 6 decades. Through 12 presidential administrations, we've gathered here to honor America's teachers and to celebrate your contribution to the life of our country. And we do this because we recognize the role that you play in sustaining our democracy, in creating the informed citizenry and engaged leaders that we need for our government, a government of and by and for the people. And we do this because you're the key to our success in the global economy, preparing our kids to compete at a time when a nation's most valuable currency is the knowledge and skills of its people. And we do this because the impact you've had on all of our lives, pushing us, believing in us, insisting, sometimes despite all evidence to the contrary, that we have potential and that we have something worthy to contribute. As President Kennedy once said, our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is our fundamental resource, and it's all of you who we entrust every day with that resource and that responsibility. And that's why, as president, I'm committed to doing every single thing that I can do to support your work, to create better standards and assessments that you can use in your classrooms, to make critical investments in education at every level, from early childhood education through college, and to recruit and develop and reward excellent teachers. And it's why, through our recovery efforts, we've provided emergency aid that saved the jobs of more than 400,000 teachers and other education jobs, and why I believe these efforts must continue. I believe these efforts must continue as states face severe budget shortfalls that put hundreds of thousands of jobs at risk. We need, and our children need, our teachers in the classroom. We need your passion and your patience, your skill and experience, your determination to reach every single child, the very qualities that define this year's Teacher of the Year, Sarah Brown Wessling from Johnson High School in Johnson, Iowa. So, congratulations, Sarah. Whether teaching basic writing to at-risk freshmen or literary theory to advanced placement seniors, Sarah writes,